Hi, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on heteronormativity in the French language. My name is Star. So I'd like to begin by just telling you that French is an intensely binary gender-specific language. We have the masculine singular and plural are il, and the feminine singular and plural are elle. And there is no way to escape being called either il or elle. And objects also fall into these categories, such as le mur for the wall and la lampe for the lamp. So in 2010, people started to create a solution for this for non-binary people. They created a new pronoun called yell, which sort of sounds like yell in English. But in 2021, a very prominent dictionary published yell in their online form, which created a controversy amongst mostly conservative lawmakers. So Le Petit Robert published yell in 2021. Yell, what is the definition? It is a third person subject pronoun in the singular and plural used to evoke a person of any gender. So very similar to how we use they in English now. François Jolivet, a French lawmaker who is currently, working in France at this time, says that this type of initiative sullies our language and ends up dividing its users instead of bringing them together. Alain Bentolia, a professor of linguistics, also says that Le Robert is legitimizing a confusion between gender and sex that doesn't serve the language and it doesn't honor it. Most detrimental to young people, I believe, is the opinion of the current French Minister of Education, Jean-Michel Blanquer. He says inclusive writing is not the future of the French language. Our students who are consolidating their basic knowledge cannot have that as a reference. But what do the young people think? Several middle school age students were interviewed and stated, we have them, non-binary students in our class and many in our school now. They don't consider themselves women or men. I understand that people of older generations might be shocked by this term, but it's new. Because it's new, but since we have them as classmates, it doesn't really surprise us anymore. So these are students interviewed by a reporter from France 24. But who is the real linguistic authority in France? Well, there is the French Literary Academy that was established in 1635, and they voted unanimously on October 26, 2017, that inclusive language doesn't have a place in the French language, as it will overcomplicate education and the French language must be preserved for future generations. So most people in power in France right now are not very progressive, and they believe that the language should not be changed, whether or not there are non-binary people. So this is kind of an older image of Le Petit Robert, but the director, Charles Bambonnet, he said that the Robert's mission is to observe the evolution of the French language as it evolves and to report on it. Defining the words the world speaks helps everyone understand better. And it seems useful to clarify the meaning of yell for those who come across it, who would like to use it or reject it. So it may seem kind of common sense to publish a word in a dictionary in order for people to understand what it means, as that is the job of the dictionary. So tous ensemble, everyone together. So call of action. I believe that, despite the government's reaction and the French Literary Academy's stance, non-binary people make up a large percentage of Francophone people in the world. We need to count all of the countries that were colonized by France that now use French as an official or unofficial language, but is still being taught in schools. So I think we need to teach yell in classrooms to create a more inclusive society. And, the future. So as a French teacher, even though this is not officially in the textbooks, I want to make sure that all my students are represented in the language they're learning. and adopting an attitude of inclusivity and respect for our non-binary students is critical to their healthy development and well-being. So every student deserves representation in a language, and even though they might not use this when they go to France, it's still extremely useful and validating for a student to have this in their vocabulary. So thank you very much for listening.